You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out, about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello and welcome to the 58th edition of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. It's the 7th episode of Season 6. We are the show who compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quests with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everyone. Hi. I'm Andrew. Welcome to the show tonight. We are joined by our usual crew of Ray and Sarah. Hi, Ray and Sarah.
Hi.
Hello.
What's going on, you guys? And special guest for the evening, welcome, Jen. Hi, Jen.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Jen's been doing some play along with us this season, so I figured I'd toss out a little invitation, bring her on the show. She happily accepted, so glad to have you on the show this evening, Jen.
Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. How's everybody doing this evening? Ray, what have you been getting into this week?
Oh, I've got myself into a mess. I started a character in Fallout 3.
Oh, no.
So
let me guess. Pat's new Let's Play.
Exactly.
Of course. That's all Pat does is he starts a game and then everybody in the community is like, oh man, that sounds like fun. I'll go do that too.
Yeah, it makes it sound like so much fun. And it is. It's a blast. I haven't played Fallout 3 in so long.
I've played it once. I did a speed run. It was at least a year, if not 2 years ago. I don't remember much about it. What do you think about Fallout 3?
It's a lot scarier.
How so?
You always feel like you're about to die. The gameplay is a lot tougher. There's random enemies everywhere, and so you just never know. You come around a rock or a building, and there's going to be something there trying to kill you.
In my experience, it seemed, and granted, it might have been the paths I took and the routes I took, and only the quests that I did, but it seemed like 90% of the time it was super mutants.
Yeah, downtown is definitely full of super mutants.
That seemed to be, and centaurs. Is that what those slug guys are called?
Yeah, with the tentacles on their face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those guys are pretty sweet too.
They can spit forever.
Oh man. It's like the llama of the mutated slug people world.
Yep. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. But then, fortunately, I had gotten kind of caught up on quests for Fallout 4, so I had a little bit of time to play with, and But
that's good.
Played a few hours, and then is like, okay, I got to get back to work.
Get back to work doing what?
Well, getting ready for Nuka World.
Yeah, no kidding. I got finished with my quest a little bit early, and I heeded our own advice from last week. It's like, I better get my ass over to Nuka World and see if I can't start finding these cappies in the haystack.
Yeah.
I found that some of them are quest locked a little bit, you guys. You can't just randomly find all of them immediately. Some of them you gotta. Sorry about that. I've been really bad about that this season. Like, hey,
we had some great ones to play this week.
Yeah. Well, let's see. This week, what were we doing? We are going to go play with some Deathclaws, and then we're going to go next door, play with some Mirelurks, and then we're going to go back down and play with some synths. And then I got locked out of the railroad, guys, so I'm going to have someone else talk about that one. Yeah, they didn't like me too much.
Yeah, I got locked out too.
Oh, we'll have to share what we did in order to get into that state. It's too bad. Sarah, did you play any Fallout this week?
Just a little bit. I'm actually playing right now. I'm in the middle of the Covenant quest. So
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! I just hit somebody.
You're not in the middle of it.
So they all just aggroed me. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to restart that, huh? This is what I get for trying to play a game and talk to you guys at the same time. I get killed.
I'm always amazed how Michael can do that. So
I don't know. He's just such a multitasker.
yeah, you can tell if I'm playing games and podcasting at the same time because there's just long pauses where there probably shouldn't be. Or me saying, "Oh, wait, what? Huh?
Wait, what did you just tell me?
What did you say? Say that again." Oh, you get that anyway from me, regardless. So Sarah, you got a little trip planned this weekend. That's very nice. My family's going to be out and on the road this week too. It's pretty excited. I'm going to take a couple days off of work.
Yeah.
Good fun. So you're over in... Oh, you're doing Human Error. You're over at the Covenant. Jen, did you have a chance to play a little bit of Fallout this week?
I did. I did all my quests except for Tradecraft because the railroad hates me. And I actually managed to play a little bit of New Vegas too.
Oh, what are you doing over in Vegas?
Inspired by the unarmed character that I was given for the role this season, I thought I would try New Vegas unarmed with lots of sneak. It's really hard.
That's how I was playing New Vegas. I had a power fist, and I was playing. So I guess it's not technically unarmed, but I was playing a. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I didn't have weapons when I was playing New Vegas.
Well, I wasn't. I've been using some knuckles that I found, so I'm not like all badass fisticuffs about this. I am using some weapons, but yeah, I played it before with the anti-material rifle. I love that thing, and I was doing it with lots and lots of guns and lots of explosives because you can VATS with explosives. So,
what is the anti-material rifle like? Does that just sort of zap something out of existence, or what does that do?
It's a rifle. It's a ballistic weapon, and it does a really nice job of piercing through armor. I don't remember. It was hollow core bullets because with New Vegas you can change your ammo type. So when I was playing with that, it was a while ago. I was getting really into modding the ammo for the anti-material rifle, but it was really awesome at taking out, the Enclave. Not the Enclave. It was the robots when I was fighting robots. So yeah, so I'm punching stuff now.
Jen, since this is your first time really on the show, personally, you've appeared many times, of course. But why don't you just give us a little breakdown of your brief, your personal history with Fallout?
So my husband played Fallout forever, and it was actually a couple years ago. I had some time in the summer, and I was watching him put together a character, and I thought, God damn it, I could do that. Maybe I should do that. Give me the controller. How do you do it? So I started, I made my first character, and that was it. I kind of powered through everything. And so far I have done every ending except for an Institute ending. I played a lot of Fallout, and I got Fallout 4, and I got really, really excited about it. So I picked up Fallout 3, and I bought a 360 off of some guy so I could play it. And I managed, I made sure to get all the DLCs for it. So I burned through all of those, and I thought, now what? So I went through New Vegas too, because I was really, really excited about that too. And then I picked up 1 and 2. They're really slow. So I haven't had the patience to get through them. Every time I'm, doing like a little turn-based thing, I always feel like I need to play Stardew Valley for a little while to, to happy it up. So yeah, I've played a lot of Fallout, and I love it very much. I just, every time I think I'm going to start another game, I always end up sitting down and playing Fallout. Like this past weekend, I thought I was going to fire up some Red Dead Redemption because I was working on that, and the New Vegas disc was in. So I saw, New Vegas. Well, I don't want to get up. Maybe I'll start a new character. Maybe I'll make a melee character. And 6 hours later,
Oh goodness, yeah.
I know how it goes.
How many times has my game choice been chosen for me by not wanting to get my ass up off the couch?
Right?
And I know on our when Jeremy does his when he uploads an episode of Game Talk, one of his topics he likes to discuss is buying physical games versus digital copies. And I always used to buy the physical copies just for the resale purposes and stuff like that. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of discovered that I buy games that I'm pretty sure I'm just going to keep forever. I don't really buy a ton of games, so there's not a lot that I'm reselling. And like, you know, I'll buy all the Fallout games, and I get the Lego games so my wife and I can play. But we replay those a lot. So I generally I think I'm switching over to digital copies just for that specific reason, Jen. So I don't have to get my lazy butt up off the couch to switch discs anymore.
I like the convenience of digital games. I picked up Detroit Become Human, but it was really great for impulse buying because I thought, that's out now. And then it was it was a download. It wasn't, putting on pants and a jacket and going out to the store to pick up the disc. But
God forbid you put on pants.
Right? Pant free. But I kind of like the tangibility of having a physical copy of a disc, because what if something happens? What if I get locked out of my account for whatever reason? I don't know. I'm a little old school. Yeah, I like discs.
That's true too. What if your cloud save corrupts or something stupid, Right. It could be all sorts of disasters, but pluses and minuses on both sides, definitely. Well, we got some scheduled quests to get into, everybody. We sort of mentioned them before, but we're going to do the Devil's Due, Gun Run, Human Error, and Tradecraft. So let's go ahead and start with the Devil's Due. Ray, this one has a little bit of a cooking aspect, so why don't you go ahead and lead us up and see what we're going to do with this recipe.
Well, a funny thing happened on my way home from Far Harbor the other day.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Well, I'm going down the road and pass by this church, and there's a dead body, so I check it out, and it's got a tape on it, and I listen to it, and there's something going on inside the church. So like any, lone wanderer would definitely do, I climb down in the basement of the scary bloody church and see what's going on.
Of course. I hear the screams. Of course I'm going to go check it out. As you're walking along and checking the place out, body parts start falling from the ceiling above you, as they are wont to do.
And you hear the roar and the growling of the Deathclaw as you walk past, but at that point there's no reveal.
Yeah.
And
did you listen to that holotape? Did you on the dead body outside?
Yeah.
You have to listen to that to.
Oh no, you don't have to listen to it. You just have to get it. Just activate the body,
and
it starts.
You remember off the top of your head what it actually says?
It's her talking to her commander about one of the other gunners that had gone inside the church, because he saw. Oh shoot! What did he see? He either heard something or was following tracks or something into the into the church, and then they find his mangled body.
And can this also be kicked off in Diamond City as well? From our
Talking to the robot?
yeah. Will he start this as well, or is
I don't think so, because he's he doesn't really want to talk to you anyway, because you're not an upper stander.
he's a straight up dick?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I don't think I've talked to him before on my way into the Colonial Tap House, but I don't ever remember getting any quest, to help him, with his delayed shipment.
Okay. Well, I might have just spoiled the quest then. Sorry, I interrupted your head.
That's quite all right. So as you travel through, there's more scary stuff falling from the ceiling, and you go up the stairs, and there's a guy with a missile launcher and a couple of missiles. And then you start making your way from the back to the front of the church, or for the museum rather, and
Church.
you find a Grogneck magazine, and about that time, a Deathclaw comes around the corner.
Oh no!
Mhm.
It's tight quarters. I always get stuck in that hallway. You know that little hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a hole in the floor just outside the door to the stairwell, and so if you just back away from the Deathclaw as it comes after you, just about the time that it catches up to you, you fall through the floor and land in the basement again. And then he wanders off again, and you can climb back up the stairs and start shooting him again, backing up and fall through the hole until you finally take him out.
Will a Deathclaw's health replenish at all or anything? They don't have any like crazy Wolverine power or anything, do they?
No. Mm-mm.
Sweet. So you can just do that loop over and over again.
Yeah.
Kind of like the balcony I use on in downtown Concord.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's I usually end up in Salem, somewhere in the early teens of my leveling.
Yeah.
So this time
You'll
I was level 35, I think, and have the explosive shotgun.
Oh, nice.
So I just marched in and took out the Deathclaw.
Does it become like a glowing chameleon Deathclaw or anything?
It definitely levels up.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just your standard run of the mill Deathclaw.
Nice. All right, so you're running around upstairs. You said you're using the explosive shotgun. What else about your character role? Are you using any sneak or anything?
She does have high sneak, but I didn't really need it.
There's no point with an explosive weapon to sneak though.
No. So once the Deathclaw's done, you go look around in the bathrooms and find the broken eggs, and then you find a guy laying there. He also has a holotape on him, and you listen to that and find out that the gunners were trying to get in and steal a bunch of eggs to make a delivery to their what do they call them? The glorified liquor cabinet.
Yes.
And so once you pick up the egg and listen to the tape, now you're faced with two options. One is to take the egg to the Deathclaw nest up on the far north end of the map, or you can take the egg and finish the delivery to Wellingham, the robot maitre d' at the restaurant outside the Colonial Tap House.
The glorified liquor cabinet, if you will.
Yep. So since I'm not playing a melee character, and not a unarmed character, I didn't take the egg back to the Deathclaw because I really didn't need the gauntlet. So I took it for the caps and the recipe back to Wellingham, and kind of held my nose while I gave it to him. He started giving me a bunch of lip, and JJ just kind of told him, well, I can always take it back. And he's like, oh, no. It's okay.
Can always take it back. What was he? Do you remember any of his specific insults? How was he giving you shit?
No, I don't remember him exactly. But basically, you're not worthy to be on his deck.
Yeah.
And then he complains because it took so long. And he tells you to tell his commanders to tell your commanders that he expects better service next time.
Okay, so break it down for me. What's really happening? This robot is hiring gunners to go harvest Deathclaw nests.
Yep.
Eggs. To make this recipe, what's the recipe called? It has a specific name. Is it just called like Wellingham's recipe or something? I don't know. Deathclaw recipe. What does it make? Have you cooked it up?
It's an omelet.
Is it just a Deathclaw omelet? Is that all it is? Does it have any special?
No, it is a tasty Deathclaw omelet.
Ooh. Okay, so what does a base level Deathclaw omelet do, and then what does the boosted tasty do?
So a tasty Deathclaw omelet gives you plus 115 hit points.
Oh, that's nice.
And plus 50 max HP for 2 hours.
Oh, great.
So
tasty. Really nice.
Can you sous vide a Deathclaw omelet?
Oh, absolutely. Eggs are great in sous vide, so this would be extra tasty.
Perfect.
Wouldn't they just be the shape of the bag when they cooked?
Yeah. Does that matter?
I don't know. That
It's not going to be pretty, but it's going to taste good.
eggs are all about presentation. Yeah, put it in a sandwich and you're fine.
Yeah.
But I'm a sunny side up kind of guy, especially with Deathclaws. They seem like sunny individuals.
No.
That seems like a lot of egg, though. Those
Yeah, I
Deathclaw
was about
eggs
to
are
say.
huge.
Don't
You
even you
compare
guys.
that.
I grew up in Indiana. There's a craze in the 90s. Ostriches.
Yeah.
All the dairy farmers, for some reason, thought it was a great idea to have a few ostriches around because they would harvest the ostrich eggs, and they were pretty popular in the 90s for some reason. So I worked on a dairy farm growing up in like middle school, and they're the meanest sons of bitches on earth. The farmers ended up just getting rid of them all because it wasn't worth trying to harvest the eggs because the damn ostriches would attack you almost every time you get in there and try to get to their nest. I mean, no shit, you're stealing their babies, right?
Yep.
Right.
For some reason, chickens don't care, but ostrich, they give
Chicken
it.
realizes it really can't do anything about it.
Yeah. But it was crazy. One of those feeds, makes an omelet to feed the whole family with leftovers for the next couple days. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
You couldn't soft boil an ostrich egg, could you?
You could in sous vide.
You could in sous vide. How many toast soldiers would you need for an ostrich egg? You done that when you make toast and then you make the little sticks to dip in the top of the egg?
Toast soldiers?
Have you not done that? Is that a Canadian thing?
Oh,
we always had soft-boiled eggs with toast soldiers, and you get your toast and you butter it, and then you cut them into little fingers so you can fit them in the egg to dip into the yolk. That's a weird thing, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
I like it though. My kid would be into that.
Yeah, I ate them as a kid. Yeah. I still eat them now because they're delicious.
I'd eat the hell out of it now. We what's that thing we do? Egg in the hole? What's that one called?
What
Like
is
Oh
that?
yeah.
piece of toast with a hole in it, and then you fry the egg and the
Oh
toast
yeah.
in the hole. You can do it with a pancake too. Super yummy. Good stuff. So you get a 400 XP for the Devil's Due, and if you do the robot portion where you take the egg back to Wellingham, what is it? I think with different charisma checks you can get 400 caps, something like that too. Probably.
Yeah, you can up him. Yeah, so it's 200 caps, and then I think it's adds 100 with every speech check you pass.
Now, what would be really cool, Ray, is this quest here should just spark off a radiant quest of collect the Deathclaw egg or go smash the Deathclaw nest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever come across the Deathclaw nest
No, I think there's
outside of this quest.
Yeah, there's two in the game. The one outside and during this quest, and the one inside.
Yeah.
As far
So
as
it'd be a pretty short quest.
no, but I mean, like if they randomly spawn Deathclaw nests all over the world, that you would have to go.
Yeah,
know,
that'd be cool.
Make it a radiant quest like that. That'd be sweet.
That'd be fun.
All right, so I think we discussed the Wellingham side a little bit. The other side, Sarah? Did you play the quest?
I did. I did.
Were you doing? No, you weren't doing unarmed. I was gonna see if
No.
Yeah.
No, I die enough as it is. Yeah, so this Deathclaw, like I am in the low 20s, and this Deathclaw killed me I don't know how many times, you guys. So in the end, what I ended up doing was I had a stealth boy. Stealth boy, is that what they're called? Right? It makes you invisible.
Yep.
So I hung out in the hallway. I sent McCready out to fight the Deathclaw. Turned on my stealth boy,
Go out.
sprinted to the bathroom, grabbed the egg, ran out the door. Then I realized I needed the other holotape to complete the quest the rest of the way. So I had to go back in, sneak down the hallway, grab the holotape, and then sneak back out.
Did one stealth boy last the whole time? You had to take another one?
No, so the stealth boy worked until I got out the first time. And then when I came in the second time, if you just come in that door and then sneak down the hallway to the left, the Deathclaw doesn't ever see you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I felt very much like Ray, like in and out, man. I wasn't gonna mess with this. Well, except for the million times I died learning that I had to stealth it. But
And you sacrificed poor
Yeah.
McCready too.
he was fine. He came back around eventually.
He's essential.
He showed up
He'll
3.
show
He's not
up the
gonna
next
die.
time he backs through a door.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that kind of stuff all the time. I sacrifice him all the time. I'm the worst companion ever.
Well, I do the same thing with Dance.
Oh,
I just
sure.
I let him be all loud, and then I go hide and shoot stuff.
Yes. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I like it. So I did end up taking the egg back to the nest because I hate that robot with every fiber of my being, and he's just not going to get it. So I don't even need the gauntlet, but I don't care.
I got the gauntlet too, just because I think it's a cool item. And I think it's one of those things that you don't get it until you unlock that one, and then you start seeing them randomly spawned. Is that right, Ray?
I don't know, but it makes sense.
But it's a cool item, especially when you're doing melee. You can kill a subsequent Deathclaw and then harvest its hand, and then use its hand to put on extra, talons or whatever onto your Deathclaw Gauntlet. Extra
That's interesting.
hand or something. Yeah, that's one of your buffs on it. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, you can
Sweet.
take it from from 2 claws to 3 claws.
Yeah.
Nice.
Turn that party up to 3 claw. Right on. So how about you, Jen? Did you take the recipe? Did you do the egg?
So last time I said that I was really looking forward to, or actually really terrified of trying to fight a Deathclaw unarmed. And you said, you may not have to go and fight it. Maybe you can, try a couple ways of, getting around it. So I went in and I was so worked up and I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die so much here. So I went upstairs. I got in, went upstairs into the church, and I saw the Deathclaw, and I crouched down, and I managed to get the holotape and the egg and out without the Deathclaw even noticing me.
Nice.
Pretty amazing.
It was so anticlimactic because I was all like, I was so ready to fight. So I went out the door and I thought, okay, I'm going to hard save here just in case. And I went back in. And I took Fury and Psycho and Buffjet and Med-X, and I said, dance be damned, because I knew he'd be really upset with me for taking all those chems. And I went in and I popped a stealth boy even, and I tried to punch him. Actually, no, I'm going to rewind. I went in just in sneak and I tried to punch him and he killed me, like picked me up in the air, shook me, and I died.
Yeah.
So I came back with all the damn chems. And I took him down with the second shot. It was a savage Deathclaw. So I was still all super pumped on all the chems and the adrenaline from killing this thing. So I ran outside and went hunting for those Mirelurks in the next quest and just started punching stuff because I was really excited about it.
Well, that's actually a pretty good lead-in. Why don't you just go ahead and start telling us about that?
Okay. So hopped up on chems. I ran into Salem looking for the Mirelurks that I knew were going to be around. Well, actually, I was just looking for something to punch because I was really happy with all my buffs. And those I got 3 Mirelurk kill claws. They spawned, and it only took 2 hits to take those guys down. So I was feeling really really bold and proud of myself. And then I ran into Barney and he brought me into his little basement and my chems wore off. And I thought, oh crap, I'm going to have to fight all this stuff without the chems. So I went, because dance. I can't make him too upset. I don't want him to leave me. I can't do his affinity quest because I have to wait for Liberty reprimed and all of that stuff before I can do it. So I got to stay in his good graces. So Barney sent me out to go and activate his turrets. So I ran out and did that. And I found a missile launcher and a Fat Man while I was doing it in one of the little turret areas upstairs. And every time I find one of those things, I think, damn, what are they going to give me? Why are they giving me these really powerful things?
I do the same thing.
Do you get really suspicious?
Yes, I know they're giving it to me for a reason.
Yeah, and you think, well, why? What do they have? And it was a legendary glowing Mirelurk waiting for me just outside the building. I'm so glad I grabbed those things because punching, I died. So I I got my missile launcher and I just kept running backwards and hitting it, and his carapace actually flew off, and they look so weird without their little hats. So I got him down, and then got back inside to Barney. He gave me Reba 2, which gives you 50% more damage to Mirelurks and bugs. And I was a little pissed because I could have really used that in Far Harbor.
You mentioned you blew the carapace off of one of the Mirelurks and it looked funny. Is that an animation that you guys have seen for a long time for the duration? That since the game's been out, that you can knock off his shell?
I think this playthrough is the first time I've had that happen.
Me too.
Yeah,
it happened over
me too.
Is this? Could they have added that in the patch at some point?
Oh yeah.
I hope so. That's fun.
It's It just seems.
Yeah, it freaked me out because this Mirelurk goes flying apart in two different pieces and lands on the ground, and then the body part gets up and starts coming back after me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so creepy looking.
I thought it was dead, of course, when it flew in multiple pieces. Of course, you would think something died if you smashed it and it flew apart in multiple pieces.
I'm upset you can't use the carapace though as a crafting material.
It should be like
mud crabs or something.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like in I was just about to say, it should be like in Skyrim where you can make that like the chitin armor or whatever.
Yeah.
In those.
Well, they'd make a great Papazon chair.
Yeah. Or a couple ropes on either side, make good swinging hammock. Yeah, Papasan chair. My roommate in high school had one of those, Ray. I'd fall asleep in that damn thing. I learned quickly not to try to do homework in that.
Oh yeah, no.
It was over.
Yeah, that or the hammock chair.
Yeah,
Stay out of the hammock chair.
over. There's no good way to be productive in a papasan or a hammock. Doing nothing but relaxing. Okay, sorry I interrupted. Jen, you were talking about Gun Run. You had just gotten Reba 2, which you said gives us 50% more damage to Mirelurks and bugs. That's pretty much the end of the quest there, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the end of it. And then I went to Diamond City to return the Deathclaw egg. I actually got a Deathclaw Gauntlet from a gunner. So I didn't need it. It was a random drop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, before the quest. So
before it even kicked off. Okay, so that confirms that no, you don't need to unlock Deathclaw Gauntlet.
But the animations for the Deathclaw Gauntlet are very much like the meat hook, which comes in from Far Harbor. It's also a random drop, and you can add an extra hook on it. And I think they're the same animations. They look the same to me. But the Deathclaw Gauntlet looks a little more badass, so I use that.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. If you want to do like an X-Men Wolverine playthrough, that'd be the way to go.
For sure.
Fudge Muppet done that yet? Huh? Fudge Muppet? Get on it, guys. Jen?
Ooh.
I want you to remind us a little bit about your character role. Tell us a little about your character's personality and such.
Well, Krystal is a I forget her stats. I think she's only got 5 strength and lots more charisma than I'm used to. So those are the things I'm noticing most. But she is a I like to think she was a former weapons specialist. She's maxed out gun nut, so she can do anything with weapons. And I gave her some scrapper too, so she can take things apart. And so a former military engineer making weapons and armor and doing some fun MacGyver stuff. And yeah.
Sweet.
I can't remember everything I said earlier. But I've been trying to really be strict with myself about her specials. Yeah. So I'm sticking to the very specific specials that I was given, and I worked on all of the perks that I was assigned, and then I padded it a little bit with some other perks. So I was assigned Ninja and Sandman. So I figured Sneak would follow in line with that. So I put silencers on the weapons that I had. And she had gun nut, but also got unarmed. So I've got both sniping weapons and lots of unarmed stuff, like her power fist that she got off of Swan, and then now this awesome Deathclaw Gauntlet.
Very nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Ray, was there anything in Gun Run that you wanted to talk about?
No, it's so you have to shoot, I'd have to see what the level is. But if you go in there early, it's a 308. If you go in a little bit later leveled, it's a 50 caliber. But either way, it's Reba 2. It's definitely a good gun for snipers.
If you go ahead and kill Barney, you get Reba and Reba 2 after he gives you the key.
Who would do something like that?
I guarantee you've done that, Red.
What's the difference?
Are they the same gun, Ray?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, are you guys okay? That is a very effective perk in very specific instances. Do you guys sort of categorize your inventories so much that you have specific weapons for specific kinds of encounters?
Yeah, I mean,
you're like, okay, I know that the Mirelurk Queen is coming up in one of these battles soon, so I'm going to bring my 50%. I'm going to bring Reba 2 because it's 50% more damage on Mirelurks.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and that's why after I get about level 20, actually maybe even before then, all of my carry capacity is dedicated to weapons. And so I'll have a weapon for, each situation that I come across.
And you don't build settlements much, so you don't really carry junk, so you just have all your artillery with you.
Yep.
Instead of carrying around, teddy bears and wonder glue.
Yeah, because you'll have silenced pistols and silenced rifles for sneak attacks. You'll have guns with legendary effects for super mutants, and crippling guns when you come across ghouls, and then the hunting guns that have the various animal perks on them.
So you scope out. Do you use VATS?
No.
So you just have to happen to notice an enemy at a certain distance, and so that means you wouldn't even use. I was going to say, if you're that specific with your weapon choice to make it actually a disadvantage to your opponent, if you would actually use awareness, because awareness shows you even more in depth, like if they have like a poison resistance or like in radiation, how much radiation resistance they have. So, but you don't even use VATS, so you can't use awareness then, right?
No, I use just a ridiculous number of hours in the game awareness.
Yeah, you already know what everything's resistances are then.
At least close enough. And if you're shooting something and their health isn't going down fast enough, then something's up, and you switch up weapons. Because I've got them all on hotkeys.
Oh, the keyboard. Sarah, are you still playing Human Error?
Yeah, I'm not good at this.
Yeah, it's a really tricky sort of thing. What have you gotten to? Just start us out. Tell us what you've done, and tell us what you're stuck at.
All right, here we go. So I showed up at Covenant. I took the useless little quiz that they always make you take. I picked all the worst answers I could think of. And I'm pretty sure they just let you in, right?
Yeah, you passed no matter what.
How dare you?
So when it asked me about if my grandma would if my grandma asked me to kill somebody, I just said I'll do it. I listen to my grandma, whatever. So I go in, and I have done semi-done this quest before and then given up. So I know I need to talk to Dan, Steely Dan over there, and he tells me that there is a caravan that's gone missing, and he is investigating it, and that I need to look around the town for clues. Well, first I said, you need to pay me up front. McCready really liked that, but I didn't pass the speech check. So he's like, hey, we're going to split the profits or whatever. So I went outside of the town to find where the caravan was ambushed. And I went and found Deezer's lemonade in the little blue lunchbox that's there, and picked up some Brahmin meat because, you know, it's always good to have that on hand.
Yum.
So then I went back to Covenant, and my game got bugged out. It's really weird, you guys. Like, there's no walls to anything. There's just like things floating in the air.
What?
And then the people are walking around, which, you guys, it
What?
is so convenient. I don't have to go in any doors. Like, it is great. I have no complaints. I just ran right up to Penny and was chatting with Penny. And I talked to Penny, and the first time that I did this, I passed the speech check, and she told me, hey, there's a compound you need to find. I'm like, score, awesome, great.
Wow.
Then I got on the podcast, and I accidentally punched Ted, and they killed me, and I died. So I had to restart again. And this time when I went to talk to Penny, I failed her speech check.
That's-
So
oh, that
I
sucks.
know. Oh, I know.
Quick save.
I know. I'm so dumb. Usually I'm so good at quick saving. So I found the terminal and the jailhouse place, but there's no actual jailhouse. I just happen to know where it is. So I go in, and my character's like, oh, this is weird. Like, why would they have this? And then you look on the bookshelf, and there's self-help books about depression there. And I know that I'm supposed to find this compound, but I can't convince anybody to like talk to me about it anymore. So at this point, I have just walked into Jacob's room because there's no walls, and I've just stolen the password off the table, and I'm headed to the compound on my own because I know where it is because I cheated, and I'm over this dumb quest.
Have you gone over to the entry? Will it let you in?
I'm on my way there now. I'm at the Taffington boathouse, so I need to figure out which way I'm going now. So I hate this quest.
Yeah.
I just hate it.
Taffington is sort of south of Covenant.
Yeah, and I
You
I
just
think I'm supposed
head
to
directly
be-
back towards Covenant. There's a
Okay.
lake between you,
Oh yeah.
and so the pipe's on the lake on the Taffington side.
Swim directly across the lake from Covenant. It's right there. It's two big pipes. On the
Okay,
north
perfect.
side of that little lake, there is a downed. We'll say helicopter.
Vertibird.
Vertibird, yeah.
Downed vertibird in the water there, and off to the right side of the vertibird, if you're looking south, is a set of power armor. If it's submerged and
Nice.
standing there in the water, if you guys haven't ever found that one, I don't think it's anything special. I don't know if it levels up with you or not. I think it's just sort of a minor. Usually,
Yeah, it levels.
Sweet. But yeah, get that power armor if you guys are bored looking into that. So yeah, this is it's a tricky, weird quest. Without the doors and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you could there's that first house off to the left once you come into the gates, and that is the sort of the key to sneaking around and getting information if you're going like the old-fashioned way. So you can probably just walk into that place and pick up, there's a letter in there that you need, so you just pick up that letter off the table. I think there's a key on the table too.
Oh, is there really? Oh, and the letter will like tell you something?
I think it's the code to not Caleb, what's his name? Jacob.
Jacob.
I think it's the password to Jacob's terminal, and the key to the door if you need to get into the door, I believe. And then in Jacob's terminal, you said that you learn all about what's going on, what the fuck
don't-
everyone is doing.
I don't know what's going on, so why don't you fill me in while I head towards these pipes? Because I don't know what I'm walking into.
Okay. Well, there's obviously some crazy thing going on, right? What do you think this goat test? Sorry, it's that's the old name of it, the safe test. Have you played the old Fallout games before, Sarah? I forget.
No.
This
I'm like you. This is my first one.
Yeah. I was reading on the wiki today that this is something from Fallout 3, I think, and it was called the GOAT test in Fallout 3, but it was basically a test that people used to determine whether someone was a synth or not.
Right.
And it's evidently ripped kind of directly from that the Blade Runner book that we talked about.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen the beginning of the Blade Runner movie. Enough to know that it's kind of about something similar.
Yeah, I think a lot of Fallout 4 with the anything that has a synth theme to it, I think they took a lot of references from Blade Runner, I think.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I actually like the safe test a lot. I think it's really fun. I always try to answer the weird things, like you were saying. You're just trying to answer the crazy whack, the weirdest stuff.
Yeah. So I just went through the goat test in Fallout 3 because that's when you set up your character. That's what you do. So it was kind of funny.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's so the only question that isn't on there is the one about the overseer. The last quest about how who's the most important, wonderful, indispensable person in the vault. And your options are the overseer, the overseer, or the overseer. And so that's the question that they left off. All the rest of them are the ones right out of the quest. The only difference is they changed some of the words so that it doesn't refer to a vault. Like where the little kid, you find the little kid that stole something.
Oh yeah.
On the safe test, you found him in a cave. In the goat test, you found him in the basement of the vault.
Right. Okay.
Just little stuff like that.
I don't know who this Blythe person is, but I'm killing him.
Do it.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
So this was the first time that I ever played this quest straight up.
Straight up.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Well, so where you go into the Covenant first. So the first time that I came across this, I actually came across the pipe.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
And went in and like, oh, what's going on in here? Ooh, people are shooting at me. I must kill them. And so, you finally get to the doctor, and so, of course, so she gives my favorite line in the entire game.
Oh yeah, Ray was mentioning this earlier.
Which is, so naturally you're not going to side with her unless you're playing a
Institute character or something.
Well, even Institute wouldn't want her killing their synths.
That's true. You're right.
It's the Brotherhood. If you're in the Brotherhood, then it would make sense to side with her and help figure out a way to identify synths.
You're right. Exactly. Yeah.
But when you tell her that you are not going to help her and that she's got to stop, she says, well, then I guess you're going to have to kill me. And she turns around, and it takes a second before she goes aggro. And so as soon as she said that to Jang Jun, she turned around and her head exploded.
Ooh,
Because
nice.
Jang says, don't mind if I do. and just happened to have the exploding shotgun and out at the time, and so there you go. Doctor's dead.
Nice.
Good job, Dr. Chambers.
I like it.
Dr. Chambers has to be a reference to something, doesn't it?
Sounds like it.
Was that something in Blade Runner, maybe?
I don't remember.
I would not be surprised. And Dan, I bet you Dan's like his partner or something crazy. How'd you play it, Jen?
So I Brotherhood this playthrough. I have to kind of just hold myself and rock back and forth a little bit because I have to make decisions that I don't like. So the first time I actually did this, I had done the main quest already, and Covenant was bugged, and all I kept hearing was Penny say to me, "Enjoy your stay, just over and over and over again. And then I went into the tubes and did that. This time I walked in and did the save test, and I wondered if anybody would ever fail it. Like, it's not possible to fail, is it?
I tried.
No.
I really made an effort, and it doesn't seem possible, I don't think.
Okay. So I don't have any hacking, so I picked all the locks to get in. Dance didn't like that very much, but I picked the lock on the house on the left, and got the password to the computer, and I ran out to the back, and I didn't realize the key was available to me, so I had to pick that lock too, and Dance was getting upset with me about that. So I went in and found out about the compound, and I'd been speaking to Dan, Honest Dan, that's his name, right? And he said he would meet me there, and I'm trying to get out the door, and Jacob stops me at the door, just does that head drag thing, and tells me that he knows that I've been snooping around. So I said, isn't there a way we can, I can go find out what's going on without causing any conflict? And Dance said in this really, really harsh tone, I suggest you accept our generous offer. We wouldn't want this to come to conflict, or something like that. So I had Dance backing me and threatening him, and he agreed. So I went into the compound, and there was a charisma check at the compound. Once I got inside, the guards were trying to speak to me, and I didn't pass the charisma check, so they all went aggro on me. I died, and tried it again, and I failed again, so I died again. And by the time I got to the doctor, so I killed everybody through there. By the time I got to the doctor, I, being Brotherhood, kind of swallowed my ethics and said that that I let the doctor live, and I took her deal. And Amelia died. Dance, I was thinking Brotherhood would like this, and Dance said, "Wrong move, soldier." And he got really upset with me. It didn't actually say Dance disliked that, but he made some terrible comments to me. I felt really, really bad. But yeah, I did it. And I don't want to, Sarah, I don't want to spoil the ending for you.
Oh, I don't.
There.
I've been spoiled plenty of time. It's no big.
So I went in after poor Amelia was electrocuted, and discovered that they were right.
So, Sarah, did you get into the tunnel?
Yeah, I'm killing compound guards as we speak.
Nice. Let us know when you get up to the doctor and start talking.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I felt really dirty after that.
what is actually going on here in this quest? Honest Dan, who I always mistakenly in my head refer to him as Handsome Dan, which makes me think of Wayne's World 2.
Yes.
Or
But
Steely Dan, as Sarah said. I like that better.
Yeah.
so Honest Dan was hired by Old Man Stockton, who we brought up earlier in the season, right? Because he is one of the vendors over at Bunker Hill, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so Old Man Stockton has sent out a caravan. What were they doing? Delivering goods just somewhere out and about.
Yeah, just making the circuit,
They get
just like the rest of them do.
they get near Covenant, and all of a sudden Old Man Stockton loses contact with them, so he hires Honest Dan to go and find this caravan.
Mm-hmm.
So he finds this like Stepford Wives town where everyone's really chirpy and happy and glad to see you. And your character even makes comments about what a nice place this is, how well kept it is. It even looks almost pre-war. I think I remember the specific quote. And
Everything's so clean.
yeah, Jacob's very, very proud of that as well. But it's not quite as it seems. When I must have had some sort of weird bug. When I started asking around, it let me in the first day. That building that the doctor and not Lily, what was her name? The shop.
Penny?
Yeah, Penny. I went in there and I could talk to the doctor, and she could interact with me and heal me and let me barter and stuff, but it wouldn't let me ask her any questions about the investigation. That I thought was weird. And then Penny wouldn't let me interact with her at all. She was just like, yes, hello, huh, hi, hello, huh. And so I was like, oh, that's really weird. So I left that building, and the next time, like from night, when I went to night and then back to day again, when I tried to go back in, the door was locked, and that door never came open again. So I could never talk to the doctor or Penny again after that.
Weird.
And basically all the doors in Covenant locked at that point. But some of them, you have to get into for the sake of the quest. When you're wandering around these buildings, you find a abandoned sleeping bag. And that sleeping bag, like, it says investigate. You get a cursor. Your character says something when you interact with the sleeping bag. What are you supposed to gain? What sort of evidence are you supposed to gain with this?
I don't remember.
It's not like it has a Old Man Stockton caravan company stamp on the sleeping bag. It's just like, a sleeping bag someone left in a hurry. But I was just wondering, like, you're supposed to use that as evidence somehow.
Yeah, I didn't investigate that thoroughly.
There's a couple other little things I thought around that you could interact with like that. But anyway, I have absolutely no lockpicking, and I have absolutely no hacking.
Oh, no.
So doing this quest entailed me going back and getting Kate and getting Nick and then getting Kate again. Like, come on, guys. He's like, really? Again? Come on.
Oh, no.
Let's go. Got another lock for you to pick, Kate. Come on. So, yeah, that was fun. They enjoyed that. They always do. Swapping out Kate and Nick. That's something I do pretty often because I don't ever invest in either of those perks because I have those two companions. So, those two are swapped out pretty frequently. They have some neat little interaction lines. I always like those character interaction lines that they plan.
Yeah, they're fun. Does Kate ever get upset about owned locks? Or she doesn't care?
About
picking owned locks, the little red ones.
Oh, she didn't seem to have a problem with me.
Hmm.
I'm yeah. will she ever refuse? Have you ever?
I've had Nick refuse to hack a terminal, but that's usually because there's a password hidden somewhere, and I just have to work harder to find it.
Okay. But he would. Has he ever on like principle basis refused? Like no.
I don't know. I'm such a goody. I haven't actually asked him to do anything owned.
Won't hack this children's charity terminal, you bad person. Oh.
So,
All right. Yeah.
is there a way for me to keep her goggles?
Oh yeah, she's got sweet goggles. Are those are they just welding goggles? What are they?
I don't know, but they're sweet. They do kind of look like welding goggles.
They're very 1950s mad scientist movie.
Dude, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
So is she dead then?
No, I'm still talking to her.
Okay.
But oh my gosh. My controller just died. So
Oh no.
BRB. I'll be right back. You guys, this is the night that I'm having. Hold
Wow.
on.
Oh no.
Hilarious.
Yeah. I've got a wired keyboard and mouse. I've never had either one of them die while I'm in a game.
Lucky you.
Good luck playing during a power outage, Ray. Probably have a generator backup on your house, don't you?
No, but my computer's all on battery backup.
Oh, nice. That's
Perfect.
smart plan.
My modem, my router, my computer, my monitor, everything.
That's real
They're
smart.
all on a series of battery backups.
Hmm.
Because when we first moved in here, we had quite a bit of problem with the power going out. So I needed a solid backup. We don't have as much trouble anymore, but
Was that city infrastructure or your house being weird?
the city infrastructure. Now most of the utilities are underground. So
Yeah, that helps a ton.
because it was mostly just cars crashing into power poles and knocking them over.
Just all the drunks in our neighborhood going crazy.
So basically, she's just like trying to figure out who's a synth and who's not, but she has to figure it out by like killing people,
Yeah.
like testing them out, and then like basically doing an autopsy.
Yeah. She does that safe test,
Right.
and based on their responses, she then does some sort of torture or something, I believe, in this lab. And based on their responses, she has a what? Didn't she say something like 52%? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like 4 or 5 to 1 was her current ratio. It was pretty
she's like
ridiculous.
70% or something like that. I think
Oh.
she said.
that's way better than I thought. I thought it was a flip of a coin, basically. My bad.
Well, no, it's
Yes. I can take her goggles.
Oh, good. Awesome.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Are they special in any way? What do they get a
Let me
plus
see.
1 perception?
I'm probably not going to get anything but a cool looking. Oh, plus 1 perception. And they're on my face.
Nice.
You love wearing a dead woman's goggles.
did you wipe the blood off first?
No, that makes them cooler.
Well, there you go.
So did you go talk to Amelia?
Oh, no, I have to get into this terminal here real quick and see what this terminal says. Stored messages. Oh, unlock the cells. That's what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Rescue Amelia Stockton completed. Apparently, I was rescuing Amelia because I still.
Yep, that's what
know.
you're doing.
Cool. Apparently, she is Stockton's daughter.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed. So I'm with the railroad, and I did the quest that involves Old Man Stockton, and so
Right.
after I got done doing Covenant, I went back and talked to him to see if there was any dialogue, and all he wanted to do was talk about how many caravans he had out in the road. So I couldn't get him to acknowledge that I had rescued his daughter. So, well, it'll be interesting to see. So now your work's not done.
What?
So if you can go unlock Covenant as your as a settlement by killing everybody.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Well, they're already mad at me because once I stole the password from the whatever, they all started shooting at me. So I just ran away.
So I on my way out, I threw a bunch of landmines down just to see
so
if
smart.
except that there's one guy that wanders around and he stepped on it and set it off,
Oh,
no.
no.
and so then everybody aggroed on me. So I restarted that. So I just went back and took them all out.
This might be a good time to go get some power armor from the bottom of that lake. I died so much trying to clear Covenant the first time.
Really? Okay.
So much dying. So many quick saves.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and they've got pretty good guns. I mean, they were shooting me with laser pistols and some pretty good rifles. So
What do you guys? Oh, sorry.
Just saying the turrets go aggro too on you.
Yeah, they do.
But they didn't on me.
They didn't?
No. None of the turrets shot at me. Only the people.
In the tunnels, none of the turrets shot at me, but the turrets are definitely shooting at me in Covenant, at least when I was
When they went
when I
aggro on
stole
you.
the password. Yeah.
I think when you can control the settlement, the turrets don't go aggro, just the people do. But if you put a turret, your own turret, once you've got control of it, if you put your own turret down, those turrets will attack that turret. Yeah, it's a weird bug.
That is super weird.
So what do you, if you have Covenant as a settlement, what do you guys do with all the bodies and gore lying around? Because that stuff doesn't go away.
Oh, there's little alleys behind the house.
Do you make a body pit?
Just drag them back there.
So I did it. I dragged them over the fence, and I created a little pit. And and because there's that weird thing with the turrets, your defense is always 0. Unless you have like guard posts and stuff like that, your defense will be really, really low. So you get attacked all the time. And I'd get raiders spawning in the body pit. So I just kept thinking they were coming back from the dead and attacking me. Every time I'd show up at Covenant, I'd hear the turrets start going, and it was always in that spot. Really creepy.
That's really awesome. They're coming back alive.
Yep.
Yeah, super creepy.
Penny's after me. Enjoy your stay.
Enjoy. That is so creepy.
It's so scary. But the bodies do respawn loot every now and then, so you can go and pick them clean again.
Nice.
Sell that.
That's weird.
Yeah. Covenant's gross. I like it.
So, what was up with Deezer's lemonade?
Yeah, what is up with Deezer's lemonade?
What's it made of?
Jacob's
Some natural ingredients harvested from hardly radiated farms. Is what he tells you.
I thought for sure it was going to drug me or something.
Yeah, me too.
I thought it was going to be people or like the recycled synths, the dead synths or something.
Dead synths.
Yeah, he never really says what it's made of, but it's just like 50 XP. that you get replaced. So
Can you stick it in, buddy? And make it ice cold?
crispy. I don't know. I've never tried that.
I like that ice cold stuff. It's actually, and it's great for selling too. It increases the value of that stuff like threefold or something.
Huh.
Like that stuff ice cold. Ooh, can you do it?
So then what's that?
I said, can you do it? Can you make purified water ice cold? Because you could set up a purified water farm and just feed everything through Buddy, and then like double your profits on your purified water. Because I know,
I think it's just beer and Nuka-Cola.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, that's too bad. I tried putting all the other liquors in them. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Buddy.
since I had never done the Covenant quest the way it's supposed to be done before, I'd always come across that that caravan just outside of Taffington Boathouse on my way to clear out Taffington, because that is one of the settlements that I like to use. Even if I don't have settlers.
Yeah.
And I always thought, how convenient, here's these guys over here, they got all this loot on them and everything, and never knew what they were for until I just did this quest this week.
Well, there's some blood on the ground if your intelligence is above a certain level, like maybe 5 or 6. It's like,
Right.
this blood trail leads in the general direction of Covenant. But they're trying to direct you there, Ray.
Yeah, it never worked.
No, it's like, oh, Taffington, got to go kill some blood bugs or something. I think the Minutemen send you there eventually, don't they? That's how I always go there, I think.
Yeah, they do. It's one of their radiants, or one of their settlements you're supposed to take.
You have to set up a beacon there or something.
Yeah, that's right.
At Covenant?
No, at
Taffington, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really interested. They really don't ever reveal Deezer's Lemonade, what the weird stuff is, but interesting. I was hoping that one of you guys would know. Weird.
No, he says something about it not having mute fruit in it, but that's about it.
No mute fruit. And that's supposed to be a bonus just because he wants to use less radiated produce then.
Yeah, I guess.
Huh, interesting. So Sarah, you're out of there. You freed Amelia. So you don't get does she get the big reveal then? If you save Amelia, do they ever let you know?
Let me know what?
I think Jen already spoiled you earlier, didn't we?
I didn't actually say.
Oh, do they let you know? I don't know. Ray, does she ever find out?
No,
I'm killing people well, actually my husband came and took the controller from me, and so he is currently killing people in Covenant. He's already died twice.
Oh.
I know, right? I know.
At least you got a quick save. You didn't have to go back into the tunnel.
He's mad I just threw him under the bus.
No podcast pouting.
Anyway, so what's the reveal? Tell me.
Amelia, as it turns out, is indeed a synth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she does say that, I believe.
She's got a synth component on her when you loot her body after.
Yeah, if you kill her.
If you kill her. Oh.
Well, the doctor kills her. I'm just an accomplice.
I mean, it all kind of makes sense because, Old Man Stockton's part of the railroad, and isn't he the one you talk to when the railroad sends you to get somebody out? He's like one of the stops, right?
Right.
Yeah. I hadn't known, or I'd forgotten about that railroad connection with Old Man Stockton.
Right.
Yeah, and the whole Bunker Hill connection too.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, you go talk to him right after you finish Tradecraft.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the time where I need to take my leave, y'all. It's been great hanging out with you.
Thanks for hopping on, and have a pleasant journey. Be safe.
All right. See you guys.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye.
Ray, you just mentioned tradecraft. I think Jen and I had both gotten locked out of it. We had mentioned.
Totally, yeah.
What did you? First of all,
and I did it like 2 months ago.
oh goodness. Jen, why don't you just tell us? Do you have any idea why you got locked out? What did you do against the railroad? You're playing Brotherhood, as am I. So,
Oh, are you?
you know what you've done?
Yeah, I went to I brought the courser brain bit, that bit of courser component to them. I tried to when I was trying to after I killed the courser and visiting. Wait, I'm trying to rewind here. How do I get to know about the glowing sea again?
Kellogg's brain stick?
Right, Kellogg's brain bit, right.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent me to, I tried to do it through Good Neighbor, because Brotherhood, I'm avoiding the railroad, and they still sent me to the railroad because they were the only place that I could get it decoded. So I went, and they Tinker Tom did his magic with Kellogg's brain piece, and they said, well, if you make any progress with this, you better come work with us. And I haven't talked to them since, and I've been to the Institute because I wanted to get all those lab coats. So I went back there, and everyone kept saying to me, get out of here, you're lucky we don't shoot you.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're saying to me.
Yeah.
Like,
did you speak to Desdemona?
Yeah, she said something, and then, God, I forget. I wish I would remember what she said. She had like a line or two that was actual dialogue, but then each time I tried to talk to her, she's like, you're lucky we don't shoot you. What are you doing here? Go away. We don't like you anymore. You're lucky we don't shoot you. Get out. Yeah, she just had repeating lines, but she did say something. I forget exactly what she said, but she was not too happy.
She said she was upset that that I was with the Institute and working with them, and and then she said you got into the Institute without us. You're working with them, and
interesting.
And I was all like, no way. I'm there. And then I had the option to say, but I will help the railroad. And I didn't, because I'm Brotherhood. So I
could have just lied.
I was like, sorry, lady. And then everybody else was really upset with me. I tried to talk to Tinker Tom. Nobody would talk to me. I went to talk to Pam, and Pam went through the initial, calculating whatever, and then beyond our introductory conversation, she said minimizing conversational protocol or something. And then that was it. Shut out of the railroad. That's it. No deliverer for me.
Me either. Very sad. But tradecraft.
Yep. So I was my faction is the railroad.
Oh, very nice.
So it was one of the things I did very early on to start off that quest line.
Is the quest that is, I believe it's called something like the Battle of Bunker Hill or something. It's where there's a 3-way Brotherhood, Institute, and Railroad battle all out in front of Bunker Hill. That's built into the main quest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So depending on how you go through that determines a lot of things, I think, because I believe since I played through that portion of the quest as the Brotherhood, and I was not being attacked by anyone from the Institute or the Brotherhood. But let's see. I must have, yes, there were the railroad people were attacking me for some reason there. So it must have been something that happened right before that quest. That's let's see, you have to spring some synths, right, from a basement or something right near Bunker Hill before that quest, right?
During Bunker Hill.
Yeah, it's down below in the basement of Bunker Hill.
Okay, I'm just going backwards through the quest line to try to see where exactly I would have been tripped up, where I would have gone against the railroad. I mean, that could have been built in way back when I was doing shit for the Brotherhood. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it might have been because I brought Dance with me, but
Oh, huh.
yeah.
I thought of that. Who's your follower from the railroad?
Deacon.
Deacon, that's right.
Yeah, so he becomes available to be a follower after you complete tradecraft.
And does the Brotherhood get all pissy if you take him up to the Pridwin?
I don't know. I know I think he complains about it. If you bring Dance to the railroad, they get upset. Later, I played railroad and tried to make friends with everybody and brought Dance there, and they get upset. But I don't know if it works with Deacon. If he just holds his tongue and grins and bears it while you do your stuff on the Pridwin.
Interesting. Okay. Ray, do you remember anything about tradecraft and our good?
Oh yeah, because I've done this one a lot. Because I typically do some work with the railroad with just about any character.
That's solely for the purpose of getting Deliverer and Ballistic Weave.
Ballistic Weave, yeah.
Yeah. Do you like Deliverer? Do you like Deliverer as a weapon? Is that something you'd ever use? You don't seem like a pistol guy to me for some reason.
Yeah, no, definitely like it if I'm playing a pistol build. But if you're not, then it doesn't really do you all that much good. Especially, and it's also good if you're sneaking.
It's a silenced weapon. It looks, I don't know, I'm not a weapons guy, but it looks like the James Bond.
Yeah, it is. It is the Walter PK.
Walter PK.
Nice.
Walther.
Yep. What
PK.
Which Bond would have been using that gun? Pierce Brosnan?
No, Sean Connery. And so, one of the things that I, learned early on is that, so after you go through, this entire, switchboard, and you come out into the Slocum Joe, it's a really, really tough place to fight because you've got nowhere to hide, and there's turrets on the top, turrets on the bottom, and synths running around.
What's switchboard? Is that where the synths come in and out?
Well, the switchboard is where it used to be the hideout for the railroad, but the Institute discovered them and sent in a bunch of synths to wipe them out. But if before you go meet Deacon, you go to the parking garage next to the Super Duper Mart. You can go up on the top floor of the parking garage and snipe the turrets and the synths that are in the Slocum's Joe.
Oh, that's smart.
So you're protected because they can't really get to you. You can throw a landmine or two in the downstairs and the stairwell for the garage so that your flank is protected. But you can sit up there and take them out. The synths will come run outside of the building, and then they'll step on the landmines and get blown up.
You guys are so smart. I never think to drop mines and stuff behind me to cover my tracks.
No, me neither.
What your companion set off your mines?
No.
Nice.
And it's guaranteed if you're not with a companion.
Hey, shut your trap.
Yeah. The most powerful companion in the game is the Lone Wanderer perk.
Carry weight. What does that do?
Carry weight, and it gives you
Extra
damage protection.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
You can still take it and have dog meat, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. If you don't like walking through doorways.
Yeah. That's
Why?
true.
Why? Okay, dog meat is extra annoying as a companion because not only is his character box super long because he's a dog and he's like twice as wide or twice as long as any character, but for some reason they also draw his character box as tall as a person too because you can't jump over him.
Yep.
Oh.
It's super annoying. You can't go in front of him or over him. Like you would think that the character box wouldn't be as tall as a person. It's so dumb.
But he doesn't shove you as bad as Barbas does in Skyrim.
Yeah.
I got killed so many times being pushed off cliffs.
Yeah, he will literally push you off cliffs.
Yeah.
I don't know why on earth they thought that was a good mechanic to drop in the game. Like what? Like it's baffling.
And every time you sit down, he puts his face like right in your face. So you've got doggy breath all over you. I love dogs, but yeah, they're right on top of you.
And he pants really hard and barks super repetitively.
All the time.
His bark loop is so frequent.
But he's adorable.
Yeah, he's got a great New York accent.
That's right.
I get him every playthrough because he's one of the best companions because he's
I love him.
Powerful and he almost never takes a knee and he's he doesn't die.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Great.
I love him. Yeah. So I love dog meat and I love the lone. I've only done Lone Wanderer once and that's on another playthrough I'm working on because I was really curious about doing it. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. The carry weight. I had played survival for a while and it feels luxurious to be able to carry all kinds of stuff and not have like my knees buckle under me and get all crippled. So it's extra wonderful when you've got Lone Wanderer.
You ever taken any of the strong back perks?
Always.
This is the first playthrough I've ever done with all 5 levels. I think it's 5 levels.
Oh yeah, you can fast travel over encumbered, huh?
Yeah, I can sprint. Well, I mean, it uses my AP, but I never get bogged down anymore by carry weight. It's amazing. I've never played like this before. But the only problem is sometimes I don't notice that it's like you're carrying too much or you're over encumbered or whatever.
And you got like 500 on you and you can't.
Like way too much stuff on me. And so I don't notice it, but my AP meter is draining. And so when I go to attack my character, I can't swing my hammer and VATS because I was like, oh shit, I ate up all my AP because, oh fuck, I have 500 pounds of shit on me. I need to go do an inventory dump here real quick before I can fight this guy.
Yeah, chug some Nuka-Colas.
You literally can't use VATS. Yeah, I need to get out the ice cold, whatever buddy ice colds for me.
Yeah, this is the first playthrough I've had so little strength because I usually try to get as much as I get as much as I need for at least strong back. So
I never worry about that either because I always have companions, so I always just load all my crap onto them.
Do you use that companion exploit where you go, hey, pick that up, go see what's over there, and then they've got unlimited carry weight?
I used to in Skyrim all the time. Does that actually work in Fallout as well?
Oh yes, Dance was carrying like 2. He had 2 miniguns and a missile launcher and a fat man and and the overboss. I just did Nuka World. I just got in there and he had the overboss power armor suit. I feel kind of bad because I'm sure he's tired from carrying all that stuff, but I was stuck. I had to get through. Gauntlet was long.
He's in power armor.
Yeah. He's not carrying it. The power armor is.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
in the tank. The,
So after I take out, all that stuff in the Slocum's Joe, then I go up and meet with Deacon, go up and talk to the informant, and that guy's pretty crazy.
is that the tourist?
Yeah,
Is this the
Ricky Dalton.
is this the the Pit Boy and the shop thing?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Do you have a Geiger counter?
Okay. Do you have a Geiger counter? Oh, it's in the shop. This is really cool. I like this interaction.
Yeah. So he's got a pretty heavy country accent, and he's bitching and complaining because they just said he was supposed to do some light recon work, and that Slocum Joe's is crawling with them chrome dome sons of bitches. And so you can if you've got charisma, you can convince him to give you supplies, but he's not much use other than just kicking the quest to the next level. So then you go from there down to the tunnel entrance, and start working your way through the tunnels of this underground bunker that's built underneath the Slocum Joe's. And it was a government installation from before the war, and the railroad had used it as their headquarters until the Institute discovered it and ran them out. Now it's full of synths, Gen 1s, Gen 2s. So you wipe all them out, and eventually you get to the vault where they had hidden the I don't know if they just call it a prototype. I think that, they just refer to it as Carrington's prototype. And so Lee's it's a DIA. Well, and that's the caches that you go look for. DIA, it's the Defense Intelligence Agency.
Carrington's the doctor, right?
The doctor in the institute, or on the railroad. And he's a real peach.
Wait, what is this prototype for? What is it?
They never really say.
Just designing something and misplaced this prototype.
Well, they weren't able to grab it when they scrambled.
So they
locked it in the vault.
Your assignment is go back to the switchboard, which was the former base of the railroad, to retrieve this important artifact called his prototype, Carrington's prototype. Okay.
Yeah. And so at that point you get Deliverer, because it was in this vault where you find the prototype. You also find Tommy Whisper's body, and so Deacon picks up the Deliverer and hands it to you and says, Tommy would want you to have this.
Tommy was an agent, I assume?
Yeah. So, and interestingly enough, you can, so when you join the railroad, you get a nickname, because that's how they refer to people. They don't talk, they don't say their names. And so one of the names that you can take is Whisper. And they make a comment about, how nostalgic that name makes them.
Because you're using his weapon there, right?
Yeah. And so, you fight a couple of more synths on the way out. But once you get up into the Slocum Joes, if you've already taken care of everything there, then you just walk out into the restaurant area, and Deacon says, "All right, well, let's split up and meet back at the church." And then he goes outside and steps on every landmine left out there. So, and typically after I've taken out the synths and the turrets up there, I'll go around and pick up all those landmines. So you've got a nice collection of landmines. Which I've got so many landmines now that I've gone through the gauntlet that I'm over encumbered.
You get a lot of grenades and
Yeah, a lot of grenades, a lot of landmines.
Lots of springs.
Does Deacon ever say anything, or is there a terminal entry for? Is there a lore story behind why the Deliverer is called the Deliverer?
No, not that I can recall.
No, I can't remember.
Just a fun name. I didn't know if there was ever an explanation as to why I got that name.
No.
The Railroad is definitely one of the factions that I do enjoy. So I have played this quest in the past. It's just been a good year or so probably, as I'm doing the Brotherhood I mentioned here. So, but I really like that Geiger counter line.
Have you ever gotten that tourist guy to snipe for you? I know you can get him to do other stuff, but my charisma's always so low. He won't agree to do anything for me.
Like cover you as you're running around or something?
Yeah, aren't there options for him?
Yeah. If you can pass speed checks, you can get him to do stuff. And yeah, I think one of them is to snipe from the overpass.
That's pretty sweet.
But there's nothing down there until you get out, right?
No, they're there as soon as you launch this quest from inside the Old North Church. They're in there, and that's how you can go. If you go, through Lexington into the parking garage, you can take them out because they're already there.
Right. Okay. That's smart to do that. I'm going to do that next time.
It makes the whole thing so much easier because they are hard to get through. When you try to come up from that downstairs, because you've got nowhere to hide. The synths come down the stairs and on both sides, and if you try to run past them, either direction, you end up with the turrets. So it can be a pretty tough fight.
I learned so much listening to you guys. The hole in the floor in the Devil's Due, going down, dropping down the hole, and then coming back up again and shooting again. And then this.
Is all of that stuff in the Slocum Joes there above ground? It's like you can just sort of snipe everything from the windows and all that. Yeah. There's a turret in the upstairs, and two of them downstairs, and you can pick them all three of them off from the railing of the parking garage. There's turrets, or there bad guys in there too?
Well, there's 3 synths.
Okay.
But as long as you're crouched down, they don't spot you right away because you're up high.
Up on top of we're on like an overpass highway or something, right?
No, it's parking garage.
Oh, parking garage.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's pretty trivial to pick them off from there.
That makes as a Minutemen enthusiast, that automatically makes me think, what do you what comes to my mind? I'm thinking, okay, how far away is the nearest settlement?
You're gonna get your artillery together.
Artillery cannon there, chuck
Yeah.
some smoke grenades on the ceiling of that on the rooftop of Slocum Joe's there. See if I
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you could take out from there. Yeah, because it's not far at all from the drive-in.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That means there's at least the drive-in. There's a couple of different ones that could be within range then, because the drive-in's not too far. I mean,
Sunshine Tidings.
yeah. 'Cause do you know on the map array when they refer to cells and like width, how much distance that would be? Because I think they say the artillery cannons can travel 6 cells.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that.
So I'm wondering what that actual distance is in game. You know what I mean? I know they won't go, forever far, but they go a pretty good distance. If you get all the settlements with them, it just rains down. It's amazing. But yeah, okay. Anything else to tradecraft? Did we cover tradecraft there pretty well?
Yep, that's about it. I mean, there's a lot of loot in there.
In the Slocum Joes?
In the switchboard.
Oh, the switchboard.
Yeah. So, you'll come out with some mini nukes, and there's a U.S. Covert Operations magazine. So, yeah, it's a good place. Oh, you can get 3 or 4 hazmat suits.
Oh, nice. I love those.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the best for decking out your settlement. I love putting all my settlements in like hazmat suits and space suits and stuff. That's always fun.
Yeah, so there's quite a few of them in there. So yeah, definitely a good place to go.
Great. Tradecraft. All right, I think that covers our quests for the evening. What else do we have going on in the Fallout world? Ray, I haven't looked at the news at all. Has there been any Fallout 76? There's a whole slew.
Oh yeah. Well, so today was the big event at the Greenbrier Hotel.
Wait. Let's describe the big event, because I just have vaguely heard about this. With I heard something about that ox. Wait, what's that guy you guys like? Oxhorn? No, I don't remember. Lee was sort of filling me in. Tell us about this event. What is going on?
So Bethesda took I don't know what the number, but quite a large number of YouTubers and Twitchers to the Greenbrier Hotel, which is a prominent feature in Fallout 76. It's there in West Virginia, and let them play the game. So they were all under NDA, so they got 3 hours to play. And big party. There's all kinds of pictures and stuff in their Twitch channels that they show everything except for the gameplay.
Of course.
So, and all the reports that they're able to make is that it's that they had a blast and that things went great. I saw the at least one of the Fudge Muppet guys was there.
Nice. I apologize for making fun of you earlier, Fudge.
And Camelworks. So the guy you were trying to think of is Oxhorn.
Oxhorn, dude. That's not what did I say? Oxblood? Oxhorn? Ox tongue? What'd I say? Ox tongue.
Osobuco.
know these people. These are big names in the
Fallout video. You know, people with all the followers. And so in the next few days, hopefully they'll get their the NDA lift, and they'll be able to start talking about it. So we'll get a lot more detail.
Yeah.
I saw that Mr. Matty Plays was there. So, and then they had Pete Hines was there.
Were we given any new information at all?
No, not at all.
Nothing? No.
So all that'll come out as soon as they lift the NDA on those guys.
I know they keep saying that there is a one-player experience with the story and all that, but I'm really anxious to learn what that's going to be like, and the character creation structure, and the perk assignment delegation. But that's just all for selfish reasons, so we can set up our random character generator. You know, those
exactly.
That's the sort of information I need to know, because I'm kind of worried about with the character generator with the perk system.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should just email Pete the our generator and say, hey, this is what we use to to do our gameplay. How can we make this work in the new system?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be like, okay, guys.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, let us just have one of the developers build one for you with all kinds of flashy graphics and stuff.
You guys put your feet up over there and go play some Fallout 76, and our developers will get right on that random spreadsheet for you.
Yep.
Such nice guys over there. Actually, no, they are. Did we bring up last time how they took it over to a person who might not make it till the release day?
Yeah, that was sad and sweet.
Always good fellows there.
Oh yeah. Well, and we'll get to bump into one of their, one of the things that they're in Nuka World. There's a character that you run into who was a gamer that had passed away, and they memorialized him by putting him in the game.
Do you remember what character it was?
No, not off the top of my head. I know he's got a little trailer not too far out from the entrance.
That trailer with the lawn chairs on the roof.
Yep. That's where he's at. And he's just really cool. Hey, take whatever you want,
That's awesome.
Just here for a good time.
And that was just a Fallout fan who passed away.
Yep.
Very nice. I've forgotten all about that. Speaking of Nuka World, is that where we're going next, Ray?
No. It is.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Was there any other Fallout 76 news before we move on from that?
There was a video from an interview with Todd Howard that had happened like 4 months ago that hadn't been released anywhere else, but a French gaming news site put it out, and not really a lot of new information, but just kind of reiterating how they're really think people are going to be surprised with that, how the gameplay is. So
do you buy that this was actually supposed to be Fallout 4 multiplayer?
Yeah. I don't have any reason not to think so. I mean, it's
quick otherwise, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So but it shouldn't be. Yeah, Lee mentioned one of the things that Todd went on quite a bit about was how they never really know how people are going to play the game, until they actually have people play the game. And I guess somebody from outside of the development team that works for Bethesda was playing, and Todd got a kick out of this guy because he hid a bunch of turrets in the bushes, and then sat in the middle of the road and played a tuba, and just to attract people. And so when people would come up to try to pick a fight with him, as soon as they did, the turrets would unleash on them and take him out.
That's pretty hilarious.
And so he'd go on playing his tuba until the next guy came along.
That's when he can play tuba. So I'm assuming other instruments.
Yeah. So I mean, there's they've showed pianos and the guitar sword.
We saw the guitar sword.
So yeah, should be some interesting stuff. And and it is when you put it in the hands of all us crazy gamers, we come up with all kinds of silly stuff.
Yeah, no kidding. Right on.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Just hoping that there's really is some sort of quest structure that we can mold a season.
Yeah, it sounds like there is.
I mean, I keep saying that there is I hope it's a nice quest oriented thing that we can do.
Yeah, because they've got to have they're one of the things that they've always done is they've they've put elements into the game that make you go all over the map to explore. And so, this is, I don't suspect going to be any different, only it's a much bigger map, which means they're going to have to try even harder to get you to, to go all over the place. And so.
Do the teams of 4 have to keep any proximity to each other?
I don't believe so, because you can fast travel back to teammate.
Okay, nice. And yeah, I'm excited to see some stuff. So when you said the NDA will lift, I don't know, few days, few weeks.
Yeah, they didn't really say, I don't think, at least not that I heard.
Starting October 4th. What was it, October 23rd? Did they say is the thing when it actually opens up for Xbox? Nice. Coming up soon.
Yes, indeed.
So does that mean
Lee says that the NDA lifts on Monday?
Wait. So there'll be a whole slew of news next week, I bet.
Yep.
Well, I am out of town next week, so it's a feedback episode. So Ray will be trying to play some feedback for us. Everyone out there, send us in your thoughts on this week's quests: The Devil's Due, Gun Run, Human Error, and Tradecraft. For those of you who weren't dicks to the railroad, and that'll be next week. The week after, Ray, we're heading to Nuka World. I've already headed over there and started because Cappy and Haystack's a pain in the butt.
That's a lot of work.
Sorry about that, you guys. Leon sent me an email too. He was like, "Yeah, I'm over in Nuka World. I had to start this Cappy and the Haystack stuff early." And we've also got Trip to the Stars and Grantchester Mystery Mansion. That's episode 8 on the season. That'll be October 18th. So that's what's coming up here. Do you think... Well, we've only got 2 more episodes this season. Sweet. And then, of course, the feedback in between. But that means it's coming down to the wire, guys. Do you think
Yep.
this 76 release on Xbox is going to tank the end of our...
I imagine it'll make it difficult to get a lot of these done for some people.
It'd be like, I better go ahead and power through these now, and because come 23rd, I'm probably going to be wanting to play.
Well, and I'm going to be particularly in a pickle because the last episode, a lot of these require main quest line.
Yeah, I put optional.
And so, yeah, I couldn't even get, although I think that, so I'm working on an angle to get my character to start investigating the Institute. Because one of the things I came up with was that when she was in Far Harbor, from up in Acadia, she was able to radio her people back in Green Mountain, Vermont. And so she's letting them know all the stuff that she's done since she's gotten down into the Commonwealth. And, going to let them know about the Institute. So I kind of threw that so that if if I want to do it, I can have them radio her back saying, you need to investigate this. So we'll see if I have enough time. Because I'm playing a really fun character in Skyrim right now, too.
Yeah, you just keep starting new characters all the time in all these different games.
Well, that's what I do.
What was your Skyrim character?
So he is rebuilding the blades. And so he is he's an Akaviri, but nobody realizes it because he looks like a Nord. But he's an Akavir, and he's running around in some extremely tricked out modded Shogun armor.
Oh, nice.
So
is that the big wide helmet at the base?
Yeah.
Oh, those are sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and his helmet now has the protruding horns and a dragon on top holding a gem.
Nice. That's pretty sweet.
Super cool. So
I've
got him. I've got my character in Fallout 3, and I'm playing the Minuteman character that you call the stripper. And which I really couldn't argue with. Yes.
Looks like
he did look like a stripper.
Ladies, you are under arrest for being too sexy.
So yeah, I got my hands full.
So many characters, Ray. Wonderful.
Well, I mean, you don't get to the counts that I'm at without starting a few characters. So it's definitely a lot of fun.
You modding Fallout 3?
No, that one I didn't. It was such a whim that I have not had a chance to even start thinking about modding it.
Is it easy peasy, or did you have to like some Windows operating systems trouble getting old games set up? I thought I heard you say something about that.
But so I have it on Steam from back, when I first bought it before New Vegas came out, and it is just not playable on Windows 10. And so I didn't really want to mess around with any of the tweaks or anything. And so I know it had been talked about a few times in the Facebook group. And so I grabbed the good old game version, and it took me about, I guess, maybe 15 minutes to download the good old games installer and download the game, and fired it up and worked on the first pass. So
Sweet.
it's been fine. And I when I played it originally, I used to have crashes all the time, but so far so good. I haven't had any crashes at all.
Nice. Wonderful.
So yeah, definitely can recommend that good old game version. And it was on sale for $10.
Nice. Yeah, I got the original Fallout and Fallout 2 to run with an emulator on my Mac. Jen,
how'd that go for you?
I actually haven't jumped in. I haven't had a lot of time to jump in, and now that 76 is coming out, who knows when I'm going to get around to.
Right.
But I played. I definitely charged it up, got it going, and looked at the character creation stuff and went into that a little bit. It looked really cool, and I was amazed about how just in the first few minutes of the game, how much Fallout lore and the story and everything was already established, how much everything is already there. The stuff that we assume, you assume that you get a franchise and it builds over time and it gets all this lore and everything, but Fallout, the original Fallout, already had a ton of the stuff that we still to this day consider like the staple aspects of the Fallout universe.
Yeah, I mean, even the sounds, with the sound of VATS, it's it felt really familiar. I didn't play the 1 and 2 when they were out new, but going back, they felt really familiar.
How far have you gotten into the original?
Oh my God, not far. Not far at all, because it was really, really slow. I need to devote more time to it. The Steam sale was on, so I picked up all kinds of everything, and I started playing a bunch of other games as well that were faster, brighter, and shinier. So they're sitting right now on my on the computer. So when I've got some time, maybe over Christmas, I can pick away at them if I'm not completely absorbed in 76. We're talking about getting a second PS4 in here so my husband and I can play together, because we're going to fight.
We're going to be online and we're going to have a LAN party.
Yeah. Yep. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, man. Do you guys ever have LAN parties? Were you into this? That's so fun.
I didn't.
Yeah.
No,
my family did, though.
We did it over the internet.
God, Ray. Jeez. So ahead of your time. What was the first game you played online against someone?
Shoot. I don't even know. Yeah, it's been so long. So the one that I played the most online was the Silent Hunter 3, the submarine simulation game.
I've heard you mention that one a lot. I think that's one you really played a lot, that you liked a lot, right?
Yeah.
You said
and we'd done, I'd done some Halo before.
Halo.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was an Xbox game. Do they have that on PC as well?
Oh yeah.
I had no idea. Amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I assumed it would be an exclusive. It's probably just not on PS4 is all.
Yeah, I never got into World of Warcraft. I played the original Warcraft and StarCraft. Ages of Empires.
Yeah, I don't know anything about any of those games. So it was just a game called Warcraft that was a fantasy role-playing game, and then when they added the online aspect, it became the world of Warcraft.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know anything about the whole world at all. StarCraft, that's basically fantasy but space.
Yeah, well, it was on a planet. It wasn't really in space.
Okay. So that is an interesting thing. I'm really interested in the new Bethesda game that they just sort of teased a few months ago at E3 or whatever. I don't know if it was that event or some other event. Was it? It's not Stardust. What's it called?
Starfield.
Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, if they do that well, if they just do Skyrim or Fallout, basically it's sort of the same sort of structure, single player, role playing, develop your character with a set of stats, loosely based on the structure of Dungeons and Dragons, like a lot of their games are, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting game, because that would, you can imagine that every planet that you land on would instantly become a whole Skyrim.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Crazy.
I would never leave house. I just. Can you imagine all those Skyrims to explore as a spacefaring person?
Yeah, just
Man.
and each one you land on, it just randomly generates all the assets onto the planet, so it's different every time.
So it'd be like No Man's Sky, and that.
Have you guys played that?
I have not played it.
I played a little bit of it.
How'd you like
It's really pretty, and it's interesting, but it's kind of grindy.
Yeah, there's a lot of crafting, right?
Yeah.
Ray wouldn't be a Minecraft fan.
No, not too much. I never understood the allure. My nephews play it all the time, but yeah, no, not so much.
I play with Moses a lot.
I like to be able to tell what I'm doing, and oh look, it's we found a pick. Really? Because it looks kind of like a cross.
Is that an umbrella? No, that's a pickaxe, you dummy.
So, but yeah, just never got it.
Oh, Ray, it's quite all right.
It's fine.
Speaking of Minecraft, I'll remind everyone, if you were playing Minecraft with us in the Feeds Wasteland realm at all, we are planning on getting everyone back together and going and fighting the Ender Dragon for the ASA Podcasting Cystic Fibrosis benefit marathon. When we do that, we're doing that, Ray, when we were deciding, probably in early December, I think.
Yeah,
we hadn't nailed it down quite yet.
One of the first 2 Saturdays in December.
Yeah. So we'll hammer that home, and then anyone who's playing Minecraft with us, help us beef up our resources. Michael was talking about getting something called like Ender Pearls. I don't know. I haven't run into too many of those, but I'm busy trying to get diamonds and getting my level up to above 30, so I can highly enchant a lot of the diamond stuff that I'm making. So that's what I'm gonna do. If anybody would like to help out, we probably need a bunch of arrows for fighting this dragon, I'm assuming. I don't know. Is there other things we can throw? There's like a trident or something. Isn't there now? Have they added all the ocean stuff?
I don't even know, but I'll help mine stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Find us some diamonds, I guess.
All right.
That's what we're looking for. And get your character up over, to a high.
Oh my God, over like 5. I'm kidding.
No, my character just, I keep dying. I like spend all this time getting the character leveled up, and then I, even before I can go enchant anything, I'm like, oh crap, I fell into lava, or a stupid creeper fucking crept up on me. Don't creep on me, creeper. Ish. I don't know. Anyway, if you guys would like to help out with that, we're sort of relaunching that project again, so we can try to catch kill that dragon as part of the ASA podcasting marathon later in December. Be pretty exciting. Ray, I was thinking, what are we going to do for the Fallout feed for the marathon? I was thinking, the game will release officially in November. Is that correct? Well, 17th or something.
14th.
I don't remember exactly. 14th.
Yep.
Do we want the 2.5, 3 weeks there to play the game and just talk about it freely and openly and let sort of us and who's going to help us do it? I think Steve said he was going to help us do the generator. Do we need a couple weeks to figure it out? Are we going to start a roundtable immediately, or do we want to draw our first character? Do we want to try to plan to do that on the marathon? You know what I mean? Like, give us a couple weeks to play the game or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll have, we should have a pretty good idea after the beta.
Yeah, we should have a pretty good idea after this weekend, evidently, or after Monday.
Well, I mean, it's never really quite the same as being able to actually poke around with it and see, well, will this work? Will that work? What does this do? What does that do? Because a lot of it, they're just going to be showing gameplay. We need to know how things work and what, what's out there to do.
I need to see that character creation, and I need to see every possible card that you could get for every level up that you get for each category. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So if you could choose, and we need to know if you can choose between those, or if you only have a couple different ones you have options for.
I think the cards themselves will be pretty random, but we can we can set levels for each special, so that your character is going to be max 5 in strength, or 8 in perception,
and they're going up to 15 now too.
Yeah, and so you won't be able to advance that that special stat above that. So even if you get cards that are higher, your character will be limited and won't be able to bump it up. And then you can trade those cards with people, in the group. So it'll be interesting. There is a lot of rumbling about cross-platform. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, that came up last week too.
Yep.
After all this time, Bethesda was saying, "Oh, we can't. Sony, those jerks over there, they won't help us out. We've been trying, you guys, but they won't." And now, for some reason, I'm betting it's because of Fortnite pressure.
Yeah, that's what happened. It was it's Sony has backed off of their stance for the Fortnite community. Whether or not they'll extend that to any others remains to be seen.
But I didn't read anything new this week. But last week they were Bethesda was saying, "Oh, no, it's too late. We're not cross-platform. It's it's too late." But that's something they could add at a later date, I'm sure, with an update.
Yeah, they could do it anytime.
Yeah, that's something they'll totally announce at some point, right? They got to.
Yeah, I mean, they want it. They said they wanted it, so they had to have planned for it. It's to some extent.
Yeah, that'd be good for for us on the show, because that's something we need to discuss as well. Like, if we do a round table, are we going to do it in teams? Like, everyone needs to get together to do their quests? Are there going to be quest objectives, like blow up an enemy fortification? Who knows?
Yeah, there will be. And so it'll all be interacting with things that are already in the game, not with things that players have built. But there'll be plenty of in-world locations that can have quests related to them.
Wonderful. Well, there's really no point in speculating because we'll know before too long anyway.
Yeah.
We'll be close.
What are your dreams and wishes, Jen?
You know, Fallout for me, or any games, you're usually a really it's a really great kind of exercise to do in solitude. And not the town solitude always, but just, you know, the lone wanderer walking around by yourself. I was a little worried when I heard they were going to do a multiplayer. But I'm really excited. I'm excited to try playing with other people. I think it's going to be, I'm looking forward to the stories. I hope they have more of those environmental stories, like, you know, walking into a building and finding a terminal somewhere, or a note that leads you to something else, which leads you to something else, to a larger quest. So I'm hoping there's more of that good stuff in there. Also, I really want to nuke something. So that's what I'm looking forward to, blowing stuff up.
That's one concern that I've heard about the game was there was a certain segment of the community that was thinking it was in bad taste to make light of using nukes so freely. And being so blasé about just wiping something off the face of the earth. But
yeah, I can see that.
I kind of heard a Bethesda sort of flashback, like, no, you're exactly missing the point. That's exactly our point. Like, we're making fun of that. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
we're trying to show you what is gonna happen, asshole, if you do this. So don't do this. No.
Except that it unlocks some high level gear and resources.
Yeah. So what does that? What do you think that means? It just like it'll be legendary drops, the equivalent of that, you think, or will there still be like legendary Mothmen running around?
Yeah, I mean, I think there'll be some of both, but I think that there'll be there will probably be crafting items that are only available, you know, in an area that's been nuked.
Yeah, you can probably make your glowing sights and your sort of gamma guns and that sort of stuff with resources collected there.
Yep.
Yeah, be interesting. Good to see. All right, I believe that's all I have for this evening. Ray, do you have anything else you'd like to get into tonight? Any sweet recipes that you have come across this week?
No, it's been a quiet cooking week. Basically, I just have been eating off of all the cooking I did the other week. So,
Still eating short ribs.
man, the six are so good. But
gonna go make an omelet in the.
I really do like the eggs in sous vide.
So like scrambled eggs?
Something special. No, they're you make soft-boiled eggs that the yolks are like custard.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that sort of.
Yep.
In the shell. Yeah, that does sound good. I'd eat a good soft-boiled egg.
Yeah. Well, and it's starting to cool off a little bit, so.
Yeah, especially in Georgia, must only be in the high 80s now.
90.
Oh God.
But
yeah,
you know, we'll eventually lose the humidity, and it'll be safe to go out and run my smoker again. So.
Oh, you gotta wait till like mid-November before we can do that.
Yeah, definitely. The winter time is the best time to barbecue.
Oh, it's the best. We in in Indiana, always took a Thanksgiving trip. My dad's sister lived in Marietta, just I think on the north side. I don't remember exactly where, but just outside of Atlanta somewhere. So we would go down there in November, and it was like going on a trip to the beach or whatever, basically, because you're going in Indiana, and November's like we're already down into the 30s in late November in Indiana. You go down to Georgia, it's like, yeah, we're still 70 degrees down here. Everyone's short. You want to go play golf? Go over here to Stone Mountain. Yeah, we've got a laser light show tonight. It's like it's fucking November. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Guys never shut
we're
down.
we're just happy that it's not humid.
It's like, hey, it's fall baseball league season. I'm like, there's an inch of snow on the ground up north.
I'm having to convert everything you guys are saying in Fahrenheit to Celsius. Because you're like 90 and I'm thinking, God, that's 10 from boiling.
Yeah.
That's really hot.
Yeah, we're literally dying. We're cooking it.
So 30, what did you say? Like 38?
It's probably, yes.
That's 3 degrees Celsius, around 3. That's cold.
Oh, no, it's not.
It is. I'm a chicken for the cold, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it turns December and I'm under a blanket till
If it gets above 70 degrees outside, I get uncomfortable. I don't like the summer at all. I'll just bundle up. I'm cool with anything. If it gets below 10 degrees, I start getting cold. But I'm cool in the 30s. I'm still fine with that. If I go outside and shovel snow in the 30s, I get sweaty and I end up down in like my t-shirt by the end of it. I'm always super sweaty and gross. I hate shoveling. Shoveling's the worst.
Anything below 10 and that's it. I'm a shut-in. So that's 50 Fahrenheit. I have my converter up on my screen now.
I love 50. Oh my goodness. That's my comfort zone right there. I love the jeans and a long sleeve t-shirt. That's like 50, 55 degrees. Perfect right there. It's
thick socks, a scarf, and a hat.
Well, we lost Sarah, but in California, anything below 60 is freezing.
Yeah, you hear people. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of them come out of Los Angeles, and those people are like, "Oh my God, it was 60 degrees. I'd have put my coat on." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Hilarious. They forget what weather is.
Yeah, well, there's some parts of Canada right now that are under snow. Lots and lots and lots of snow, like winter's here.
Yeah. I noticed the weather report is dipping into the high 20s and 30s in the northern Great Plains here. That'd be like Minnesota and the Dakotas and stuff. They just some snow up over that way.
Yeah, all over Alberta.
Here in Indiana, it was 86 degrees today. Terrible.
Holy cow, that's warm.
Yeah, I hate it. It's the worst.
Oh.
I'm going on my fall trip, and every year it's like always nice and crisp and cool, and this year it's going to be like hot and muggy. It's gross. We go up there on purpose to like watch the leaves change, and to watch the leaves change, it's always so quaint, and you have to have the weather to be like nice and crisp, and you got to drink the cider and pick the pumpkins and do all that sort of stuff. And if it's hot and muggy, it's just like going to ruin it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put on your shorts. You want to be wearing like a scarf and a sweater or whatever, hanging out, tossing leaves up, but no, you're still wearing your flip-flops. Global warming a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's nuke it all. Right?
All right.
76 style. Get some important artifacts. All right.
It was fun having you on, Jen.
Thanks so much for having me, guys, and for being so warm and welcoming. It was lovely.
Yeah. We'll be glad to have you on anytime you would like.
Awesome. Thank you.
Enjoyed having you on. Guys, we'll see you next time when we will go over Cappy and the Haystack, Trip to the Stars, Grantchester, Mystery Mansion in 2 weeks. But next week, feedback for Devil's Due, Gun Run, Human Error, and Tradecraft. Thank you, Jen, for joining us. Thank you, Ray.
Thank
Always a
you.
pleasure.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. And we will see you in the wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.